All right, viewers, let's check out apartment number 4. From the shared laundry with closet, cleaning supplies, run over freezer and fridge in case that becomes necessary, slop sink, laundry areas. And we'll go out this way, so we'll show you that when we're done in the yard. But this is the kitchen. And complete with lamp and fan and countertop light. Now, unfortunately, the tenant previously must have changed. I would never have 2 different temperatures of light in one room. Please don't judge me. I understand completely how awful that looks, but someone must have, a lot of times it's a bulb that gets broken and then a replacement is purchased and no one knows the temperature when push comes to shove, so they guess, and it's often we make mistakes. I've done it, and but you fix it. Anyway, cupboards were built in, and they're not boxes, they're old school built-in cupboards where it really is just these components, and it's constructed in a way that, like, these 2 different things aren't 2 different boxes. They're built right against one another. And it's a unique and interesting way of building. It makes a lot of sense when you start thinking about it, but the longer you realize, or the longer you spend dealing with cabinets built this way, you realize why we build the cabinets the way that we do now, because it makes it far easier. Although you can't get this look that easily. And I don't mean to say they're a little bit dilapidated, but the form factor and stuff like that is difficult to get with cupboards now. So anyway, because the face frame, the nearness of the doors and the nearness of the hinge side and stuff like that is tough to replicate. So, and it just has a certain look to it. It's also a limiting pinch point. So you want to make sure in this one regard here, due to the way that this entry was constructed, a logistical factor for moving in, you got to realize that you're squeezed quite a bit there. So it's not like a nice, and you got to come up all those stairs. So we don't recommend you drag a lot of big heavy stuff up here. So dining area, kind of an in kitchen, in the sort of a pantry cupboard that was custom made for here, just sort of disguise the fuse panel, which is orderly but relatively old school. Should be perfectly legitimate. It's just a older type of electrical management technology. And all these windows are vinyl inserts, which is nice. They're not like from the era that the building is from, or it would be far draftier, but you wouldn't necessarily really realize it or notice them. They did a nice job, I think, with that. It was here before I got here. Some coat racks and like seasonal storage type stuff. You can add, if you need some more hangers and stuff here, I've got a few things that could go up. I don't know how people were going to use the space, but I have a few things that were like further ideas. And I also have like a pot rack that I could bring in over the island or something if somebody wanted. So it's just stuff that I haven't quite completely gotten to, and I didn't realize or know whether people would be into it. This is one of the bedrooms on the far end of the floor plan, which is nice. That if it's a couple of people renting, you can easily pick a master bedroom, and then if you the other bedroom is a great home office or like den, rec room, whatever. And if you have kids, obviously a great bedroom. And in the bedroom, to have a baby or something, there's plenty of room for a bassinet and with a pretty good sized bed in here, actually. So a good sized bedroom and sort of a high ceiling, which is nice in this place. That back there has its own thermostat and forced air unit in the wall, which manages just the kind of temperature in that room just because of its distance from all the rest of the hydronic system in the place. So it's a little wonky. I went through a lot of the stuff here when I did this renovation, but I didn't get into a real deep dive in making changes to like adding radiators or anything. So because that stuff stands out to me as hinky, I like to make sure to mention, I guess this light is off. There's a very good reason for some of that. So we'll pull that once and we'll flip this switch again. Must need a bulb. So anyway, pretty good sized living room. Although actually the previous tenant used this as his bedroom. So I don't know what that is. Interesting. Maybe a plant or something. Anyway, it worked as a really cool master bedroom, and then I think he like just had a workout room or something back here. It was just a single dude. This being the other bedroom, as far as the official layout goes. It's relatively smaller. It would make a good, again, home office or a kid's room. Or if it's just one person renting the place, all kind of alternative. Like I say, he had a home gym in there, but other people, somebody may have a hobby or something. If you have a craft you like to do, or would like an artist suite, if you are an artist, music or mixed media, whatever, this would be a great studio space. Very sunny and exciting for being indoors. It's a nice place to be indoors right in here. I was the whole time on this renovation really enjoying myself, because this isn't a perspective that we get from downstairs. And when this all fills in again in summertime, it's got a really cool vibe, and with the windows open and the sounds of the people walking by, it was just a really pleasant place to be. And I was actually kind of heartsick when I was all done that I will probably never live up here. But I am enjoying looking around, because I'm just having all kinds of great nostalgia. This is 5 years ago that we finished this. My now wife and I just welcomed our firstborn son, and we were dating and living here together back then. And it was just the most wonderful experience to do a project together, and I think it turned out really well. I love her so much, and he's such a little cutie pie. But this room, man, and that's another thing. If you want to go back and check out the series on this apartment project, the whole renovation is a series back, again, from 2019 or so 5 years prior to this video. This was a side of the road find, and I turned it into this, what do you call this, vessel sink, sort of. Looks like a dry sink cupboard with like a bowl and what feels like maybe a pitcher, just to stick with the era of the building. And these are probably 70s, but they're also passably turn of the century or early 20th century. And I did this as clean as I could with the P-trap. It's cool. I think that it's metal. They're not the most efficient, but I haven't had all that much trouble with it. And I think, that is my cool little shelf behind there. Just little touches like that stay, and they just they're very simple. I just feel like this room is understated, but there's just something about it. I think, again, these are, Lowe's specials, but they hold that shape. If I didn't tell you that, I might have told you that. Really, anyway, I couldn't have fooled you probably. But I mean, if you had a really nice expensive set and you just swapped them in, I think this room would really be over the top. I did this on a super tight budget, but I am actually now, again, I kind of enjoying walking around here. I'm pretty satisfied still with everything other than what I know its actual, sort of echelon of product that it is, which is bottom of the barrel. This is all Lowe's special hardware stuff, which, I take that back. This is a signature hardware. This is like a $350-$400, I think it was a $400 faucet, and it feels totally different and better, compared to the rest of this super chinso. This is like a plastic, if I remember correctly. This is like I don't know, it's just, it just like crimps into there, whatever. But I'm glad most of everything is still working, and he did take a nice job. He did take good care of this. I know this was chipped out from before. I actually don't mind a few little things like that. It just sort of helps it not feel too perfect. There's a word for that, but I forget. But really, he did took it nice and easy on this place over the course of time that he was up here. We have had some trouble up here. We had not hoarder, but just sort of mental breakdown situation. And we had some other sort of like youths in revolt that was a bit of a sour experience at the beginning of renting. And in fact, the genesis of this apartment, now see, this used to go down a hallway here, and there was another bedroom, and then there was another great room tagged on the end, and then you could go out on the front porch. And I mean, there was a woman that had lived here, I think, for at least a decade, if not closer to 2 when I bought it, and it had been like her home, and I had to raise the rent, and she had to move on, but she had some health problems, and it was really difficult for her to get up and down those stairs, and only it was ever going to be more difficult. So I think it was probably for the best for both of us. It was certainly, peaceful, and I gave her plenty of time and everything, and was trying to be understanding. But once we had some rounds of young people up here, and it came time to renovate, I decided, well, I'll make it 2 separate places. And I think when I say that, people are like, wow, you're chopping everything up, trying to drive up, how much money you can get. I think it makes a lot of sense to be a 2-bedroom, So I'm super glad of it. The other smart thing about it was that the kitchen and the bathroom were in this end with the 2 bedrooms. And so and this wall isn't even finished on the other side. But in just getting to the end and finishing this off and cutting us off, the renovation didn't have to include those rooms, and I was able to finish it up a lot sooner. And yes, if I had been able to put the rest of it on the market, it would have been even sweeter by now. But it has still been. I don't think I would have gotten any more money for this space if I had included all of that. And so this was just a no-brainer. I think I'm really happy with that decision now that I'm walking around up here. It still feels very viable for 2 to 3 people, even a couple and another roommate, again, because of the different ends with the bedrooms. So in general, I may do a super edit. I don't know how long it would be to put all the old footage that I uploaded in pieces together into one video about this project for this apartment number 4. But I should probably do this more often, and then try to cover the space's growth over time, because even now it probably looks so different, especially through the windows. If you see any of the outside yard, this is far more recent that we did this with the yard. And so I may put that in, I re-upload that somewhere for yucks. But for now, we could even go down there and check that out. Turn the lights off. And I'm going to have to thank him again for doing such a nice job with... He's not even done. He was saying he wanted to clean, which I can see that it's been like broom cleaned, basically, which would be fine. But he's been a great dude. And on your way across the hallway here, there's a bit of like cold storage. And so, he had his mountain bike over here and his roof rack for his car and a kayak or something like that. And this is sort of my crap over here. But it works as like a little shed that's farther than a shed would be from the weather and thieves or whatever. Although we have a really nice neighborhood, which doesn't hurt matters here. Need to get started mowing the lawn, ladies. But it's a cool little... we get the chairs around, stuff like that, and the grill out here, and you're welcome to take advantage of that, especially when I'm going to be gone and stuff, or if it's really nice for us to know when we leave town if tenants will be around to hold the fort. It's nice to know that there's someone here, and thereby more than welcome to obviously enjoy the yard without a conflict with us trying to enjoy the yard, and at the same time, basically. Not that we don't cross paths out here. It's a great past couple of years with our tenant who's leaving, and one of the nice things was just running into one another in the yard periodically. And I've got a little bit of construction, like inventory stuff there, and a little bit in the shed, but I try to keep it looking as nice as possible around here throughout the summertime or the warm weather, and then I tuck things away for the wintertime. This is our little herb garden. The walkway's over there, but I'm in the middle of deadheading. I got the raspberries trained back off the walkway. I'm trying to get it to hook up, bend up and around, and get started on this and make like a big sort of tunnel loop that you can ostensibly prune the interior and go right down in sort of an arch of raspberries. I don't know how successful I will or will not be. It's kind of dependent on how much I want to go mess around with these. But that's that. And then we do some produce in the raised beds where they're less likely to get paddle-fed. Right now we got a lovely crop of dandelion for dandelion wine and dandelion salads. Ooh, plastic in the compost. Yeah. And the parking spaces that come along with it are just there. Making it, a bird's eye view of your vehicle. And there's a street light over top of the parking lot that keeps it not obnoxiously lit, but it's actually kind of a nice little feature that I didn't know if I would like when I moved here, and I really kind of dig it. It gives us like a unique aesthetic. It's got it just feels a little different to be this rural and to have a street light over a parking lot for some reason. So, yeah, like I say, we'll do that more often to get a sense of how things go around here. But for right now, that was apartment number 4. Thanks for coming along. Catch you later.